some kind of highfalutin guy, I think.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, see?
Oh God, are we live?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't sustain that, so I went with
Yeah,
Australian
no,
instead because
it's
I
a
can.
lot of energy.
Yeah, it sounds like a job for the DM for way later. Well, welcome back, everybody, to the world of disease and poverty.
Oh, we made it another week.
I actually never left. I've been here for the
Oh
entire week.
no. Oh.
I appreciate your dedication.
Just
I'm
been
also
patiently waiting. Got fired from
terrified.
my job.
Oh,
Just kidding.
well, it wasn't much of a job, anyways.
It's true.
We're gonna be making money off the stream, upwards of pennies.
Hold on
Ooh,
now.
pennies. Are they shiny?
No, Lord, no.
We haven't gotten that far yet. Calm down.
Yeah, calm it down. Wait a few more years. Then the nickels start rolling in.
Oh my.
Speaking of nickels and small change, does anybody remember what happened last time? Because I
I have got us covered.
know.
Yeah, we committed an opium overdose.
You did.
We did indeed.
We?
I
Are you
mean,
speaking Celestine now?
right.
It's the
Well,
royal we.
yeah, it is the royal we, but I think Marjorie was the one who had the pills and she added them to the water and didn't let anyone. I mean, if someone wanted to like try and see how many she put in there, I mean, I have a feeling maybe if we don't find her, a cleric soon, she might not make it. Just like a hunch, but for now she's fine. She's vibing.
Right, we're bringing her to the clerics.
Or at
Well,
least
you
like
guys
that's the
haven't
plan.
decided yet. You haven't
That
decided
might
what
be
you're
the
doing with her yet.
plan. Yeah, because we were at the tail end of the session last week, and we were just like, oh man, how are we even gonna logistic this?
Right.
Hit it, Ollie.
So we started last session just after Mad Maddie had shot Daisy out of her spider form. So the party returned fire and kind of put Mad Maddie on the run, and we were able to make it across the makeshift bridge over into the Wizard Tower. And we continue through after bringing Daisy back up. Made it through towards the sound of steam pistons and boilers through more twists and turns, slowly making our way up the Wizard Tower. With a lot of lateral movement involved. We eventually came upon an MC Escher-esque type cacophony of stairs and stairs and boilers and pistons and a room with like bird statuettes hanging from the ceiling. Between Marjorie and Marcus working together and Heinrich and Ollie disarming some of the boilers, we were able to kind of map out a safe section of the room to take a rest. Afterwards, we made it through that room towards a sort of platform surrounded by particularly loud boilers, a platform of grates, and it was loud enough that we couldn't really hear each other, but we did notice that part of the platform was covered in ice, and this is when Aramis, I keep saying that wrong. We noticed that Aramis finally notices what he's been paranoid about this whole time, the person following us. They are on a platform above us, and they pull their hood back, and what? It's Valeria, Modest's sister. She pulled some levers and twisted some knobs and dropped us into a pit with an ice ooze and a broken vault door, which through some quick thinking and some slowing down of the ooze, we were able to escape through after an ooze-on-ooze Pokemon fight, thanks to Yaroplek, who had swallowed one earlier in the labyrinth. The body that Marjorie saw in the bottom was the body of the ghost she met outside the labyrinth. So she and Aramis gathered a bunch of their belongings, and we vamoosed out of there and locked the vault door behind us to keep the oozes from following. From there, looking over the paladin's gear, they had notes on Maddie Haas, who looks like she wants to be cleared of duty. She's been here for a long time, just going crazier and crazier. We ran into the first of a bit of poetry from Mad Maddie, and it looks like Paladin Electra was tasked with capturing someone of the labyrinth disease for study and happened to choose the wrong person, who was the only person that also made sense because she was the most accessible. Moving forward, there was a hidey hole that we found with some items, food, scribblings, a stockpile for the Kaiser, as Mad Maddie put it, along with more poetry. Continuing forward, we reached essentially the apex of the Wizard Tower, and we saw the silhouettes of unmoving mechanical figures and had finally encountered Mad Maddie herself. And she had fled further within the chamber and was trying to drop smoke bombs on us from above. Heinrich eventually was able to convince her through military rank and chain of command to allow us free passage through. And she escorted us through to what is essentially her nest, which is practically a shrine to the Kaiser with statues and paintings and various forms of art that were either acquired or created by Mad Maddie. Also, it was full of high quality equipment, Zeppelin parts, everything that Heinrich was looking for. Also trapped within was a very malnourished Agrafina, as well as the last chunk of poetry that we saw in the various scribbles around the room. But in order to leave and kind of accomplish all of our goals, Marjorie and Heinrich ended up drugging Mad Maddie with some opium in Heinrich's water skin. That's the word. And that's pretty much where we left off, with Maddie Haas unconscious and Agrafina rescued.
Yeah, that was very comprehensive. That is everything that happened last session. So right now, you guys are up in Mad Maddie's lair. It is dank and dark and creepy and full of tons of equipment and also garbage. Oh yeah, I gave you guys a list of stuff that you found too.
You did, yeah, and I think we divvied up most of it already.
Yeah, I believe we did.
Okay, yeah, it's not a far scroll up.
Yeah, the money, the Alfaximos parts, smoke grenades, sentium potions, healing potions, all that jazz.
Yeah, so the big question now is, what are you guys gonna do with Mad Maddie over here?
Killer.
Have we?
I mean, Marjorie's got a little look at her eye, like where she's like just kind of staring at her intently, like every time she looks at her, kind of lingers for a little bit and then goes back to, helping someone load their bag or whatever with parts and whatnot.
I mean, Madam Black is in the background, like, well, yes, of course we kill her. Drugging her was just making it easy.
Does anyone know exactly how long that's going to keep her knocked out?
I assume I have no idea how drugs work, right, Steve?
I can't imagine you would, but Yaraplex is in amongst you guys saying, oh, it depends. How much did you give her? What did you give her?
I mean, enough. She she just kind of who puts the bottle back in her pocket. Like a fair amount. I figured she's been hurting for a long time, so she would probably need a certain amount.
A certain amount being.
Oh, um, I'm gonna say 3 pills. 3 pills. Because I don't know what strength these are.
You're
So
telling him that it's opium, right?
I say whatever the bottle says.
Oh, do you show him the bottle? Let him look it over.
She sighs and hands it to him.
He goes, woof, yeah, no wonder she was out so fast. Well, it's a good thing it's empty, too. Give her any more of that, and she probably wouldn't have made it.
She takes the bottle back and just kind of looks at it. Yeah, right. She shrugs. There wasn't much left.
You did only give her 3, right?
Yes.
His eyes narrow.
I mean, do you want me to roll a deception?
Roll deception against Yaraplex.
Oh God. Okay. Not on advantage. I might on my normal. So deception. All right.
Yeah, I don't think Yaraplex can actually beat that. And he kind of scratches his chin and goes, whoa, she looks like she's really out of it. Ugh. Do you have any plans on bringing her back up? Madam Black is again in the background. No, of course not. You're going to smash her skull and finish this once and for all.
Did you tell us about the church wanting someone with this disease?
I read Electra's journal to you guys, and that she was here to research the illness. Like she was specifically here to get a person to study for the church.
Well, we could finish what that paladin came here to start. So you do need a subject or
I believe patience the word you're looking for, but I understand why it didn't come to mind.
I don't know if they intend to cure her or just
I think
study
that depends
her.
on what they learn.
I suppose.
But they won't be able to learn anything if they don't get the opportunity to at least observe.
Do you think she has to be alive for that? For the kind of research?
I would imagine so.
Because people do autopsies, do they not? They are not surprised. It's particularly common, I think, but there are books. She shrugs. Not many, but
That does not often reveal enough to create a cure. You need a live sample.
oh, she kind of shrugs. I mean, who knows what will happen? She may wake, and we may have to fight her anyway.
Let's just make sure she's out of her element when that happens.
Because-
Heinrich reaches behind him and pulls out some rope. Well, I have an easy fix for that.
I suppose, but how are we getting 2 people, one obviously infected with something, and her? She, gestures to Agrafina.
That is a good question. We will most definitely need to sneak some out.
We
I
cannot.
would imagine by crossing the tracks again.
Yes, we cannot do a checkpoint. They will have too many questions. Questions we
Mhm.
cannot answer.
Who knows if they'll even let us out?
Mm.
We were in, after all, in the quarantine zone.
I mean, I have a contract that secures my entry and exit.
Are you
Hmm.
sure it includes your exit?
The way I worded it.
And they do not necessarily know that we came from the quarantine area. All they will see is us leaving this part of the area. Well, not the double quarantine area. Yeah, she just crosses her arms, not sure what to do. Are we able to feed Agrafina something to maybe so she can get a little pep in her step, just so we might not need to carry her the whole way? Or is she going to be
Yeah,
carried no matter
absolutely.
what? Yeah, I give.
She can't move on her own. Somebody's going to need to be dedicated to like carrying her or helping her move.
Okay. Well, we'll get her some water, some a bit of a ration, have her eat it very slowly.
Yeah, Modest can do that. He volunteers.
Yeah. I give him a one of my rations and advise him to feed her slowly. I do not think it would be easy to eat any some after how much she has probably been starved.
He nods and gets to it.
I believe the more concerning matter with transportation is this one. How do we protect ourselves against a disease we do not even know how it is transmitted?
Is an excellent question.
Because I think isn't Black and maybe Nadia the only two probably strong enough to carry her? I think all the rest of us are like strength deficient.
Okay,
She's
Uh,
pretty heavy, but like you guys can carry her.
to be fair, like a peasant is strength 8, and they can probably carry another person if they needed to.
Not far, I assume, but could.
The body would be awkward and like difficult to carry, but like somebody could grab her legs and somebody else could grab her shoulders, that sort of deal.
I can help with that.
Yeah.
Um, I have a question. The identify spell states at the end of it that if you instead touch a creature throughout the casting, you learn what spells, if any, are currently affecting the creature. And because of my core wand feature, I can be up to 10 feet away and cast touch. So I would like to spend a minute identifying Mad Maddie to see if we can put a name or essentially apply specificity and maybe learn some things about what's affecting her.
If it's
Man.
magical, that would be awesome.
But my wand feature just lets me keep a safe distance away.
You can definitely give it a shot.
Do you think we have 10, 11 minutes so I can do it as a ritual?
I don't think we're pressured by anything or anyone right now, so I don't see why you'd be hurting for time for a spell.
I'm gonna start tying her up just in case and making sure she doesn't like die.
Sure, if you want to, you can even roll a medicine check.
Yeah. Oops. Didn't open my sheet yet.
All right, then. While he's doing the tying, I will do the casting.
All right, Ollie, I need you to roll me an Arcana.
The absolute picture of health.
Well, Heinrich, you know a thing or two about basic medicine because you were in the army, but this lady is like so fucked up in such a weird, gross way that you can tell she's breathing and she's not really struggling. So like you've safely assumed that there's no immediate threat to her just like perishing.
I mean, yeah, that's all I was really trying to make sure of.
But you hog tie her, get her nice and secure. You wrap the shit out of her disgusting limbs, and you're fairly confident that it'll hold against her. Like she's not in a position where she would be able to really use all of her strength, anyways.
Okay, hear me out. If she's hogtied, I know how to carry her.
Like
Can't
Jack
do
Sparrow
that.
in Pirates of the Caribbean 2, suspended from a roasting bowl.
Yeah.
On a spit, yes.
On a spit, yeah, that's the word I was
Right.
looking
Spent
for.
an
Yeah.
entire campaign carrying people like that. It's time to bring it back.
No, our characters wouldn't know to do that or really want to, even though I don't think any of us want to touch her necessarily.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, how can we move this without touching? Oh, yeah.
We could also
Sick.
make is there enough material here to make like a stretcher?
Yeah, that'd be.
Because Marjorie would
Yeah.
suggest
Useful.
that for,
Yeah, you can make a stretcher.
since she knows Heinrich is handy, she'll suggest a stretcher to transport her since we don't want to be touching.
Heinrich's already looking for the one stick. He's like, that's even better than my plan. Yes, a stretcher.
Heinrich, roll me a tools check for making a stretcher.
You got it.
All right, you begin on your project. As for Ollie, you take yourself a seat nearby Mad Maddie, and you start casting your spell on her to try and figure out what's affecting her. And you can tell that the nature of her disease is very much magical. And I've got some good news, and I've got some bad news. The good news is you're fairly certain you know how the disease spreads.
And you just caught it.
The bad news is I need you to make a con save.
No! Crap!
Yikes.
Oh no! So looking into it. Oh!
I'm spending an inspiration.
Oh, oh no!
I'm spending another inspiration.
Oh
Oh
man.
my god!
What are these guys?
Okay.
How many inspirations you got left?
Well, we
You.
don't know we don't know what the save is.
No.
I don't know the DC.
It's okay. We can bring you instead.
Wait. Hold on. Hold on. Where is it?
What happens if it's just as low or lower?
What if the 4 would have made it?
I'm gonna try one more time, I guess.
Pray to
Burn
this nice God.
burn
This is
all those
lower.
inspirations.
Okay, I'm gonna do that, and I am going to give myself a bonus through using my wand charges. I'm gonna use 3 charges to make that now a 17.
Oh my gosh. And one of those Ollie's like, nope. Every single nope.
So the rest of you guys are doing whatever it is you're doing, and you notice some of the colors changing from the magical light that Ollie is giving off, and whoever looks over to see what Ollie is up to can see his face straining and his teeth kind of gritting together, and you can see that there's some kind of ethereal magical bridge that is beginning to get built between Ollie and Mad Maddie, and it's struggling to keep itself up into form. And it takes a few moments, but eventually Ollie does manage to destroy this bridge. And Ollie, when you are done, you are like totally exhausted. You've like tensed every muscle in your body, and you just like flop over on the ground, covered in sweat and out of breath.
So he falls to the ground and drops his wand, and it like clatters and rolls, and he's just panting.
What just happened?
Am I actually exhausted?
You do not have a level of exhaustion, but you've been through it.
Okay.
It's like your whole day is over already.
Yep.
I said, "Oh man, guys, can we long rest? Ollie, we just got up a little while ago."
Nah.
Uh, well, no one else try that.
What happened?
The curse tried to infect me.
So, the only way to get it is to investigate it?
Ollie, you know that the curse spreads via exchange of magical energies or life energies. Mad Maddie can't cough on you or scratch you or stab you, but if she were to say cast a spell on you, then it might spread. Or if you were to say cast a touch spell on her, then it might spread.
So it's magic herpes, got it.
Yeah, there you go. Magical brain herpes.
Well, I've got good news and I've got bad news. It spreads via exchange of magical energies, but not from straight up touching. I think you ought to be safe to handle her. She would have to cast a spell on you, or you would have to cast a touch spell on her. I was able to break it because I was doing it from a distance and had a couple of other advantages. If I had been doing it normally without my wand, I would probably be diseased.
How do you cure such a thing? If you
It's not
cannot.
information that I learned.
Is she kind of like, it would be dangerous to bring her back. That is all the clerics will do. Investigate as you have and try to cast spells, which I assume would be with the hands next to her.
Do I think that like even curse breaking magic would transmit the disease?
Unfortunately, I gotta say that you don't know. You would need
Okay.
to try and pry further, which I don't know. You don't seem really comfortable doing right about now. But
No,
this,
not right now.
it would be safe to assume that this is more of a job for the clerics or somebody far more experienced with
Yeah,
this sort
because
of
like
thing than yourself.
they can, because if they have an issue, they can at least help each other.
Or spread it quickly.
Ollie would definitely know that this is very important information because nobody really knows anything about the labyrinth curse other than it might exist. And so right now you are the holder of the most knowledge of like the physicalities of the curse and how it works. So if you tell them that, they might be able to work around it.
Well, regardless of if we're actually able to get Mad Maddie to a Church of Clerics or not, I'm going to need to tell this information to a Church of Clerics.
Oh, I have an idea. And she'll take out Electra's notebook that she was writing all her personal information in, and I will add this information to the next clean page she has available. That the disease cannot be spread by typical touch, and you need to be casting a spell within touch distance of each other from the patient or the doctor or the healer.
I just had a thought. Also, might be a crazy one, and It's probably entirely dependent on how thorough the man in the last labyrinth was. You remember that velvet bag?
Yes.
If it's still there, and they weren't able to get to it before they were leaving.
No, they got the
They
bag.
got the bag. They did
okay.
get the bag. That's what they told the other lady. We got the bag.
Because you guys left it and then ran further in, and after they followed you, they went back out past the way that you guys came, and they also yelled to the other team that they got the bag, and so they left.
Bummer. Because that would have been an easy way to get her back across.
It would, well, yeah, because I think they designed it to take one of these people. Yeah, hindsight, it's like looking better and better. Like, oh man, I should have just kept the bag, and they would have been forced to leave, maybe after they lost the first guy. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, problems on problems. Well, yeah, again, at least just touching her isn't going to like get us infected. Just don't cast spells and like while standing next to her. But well, yeah, we'll stick to the stretcher plan, I guess, and I'll keep the notebook handy to pass over to the healers.
All right, you write down everything you know about the labyrinth curse in Electra's book, and when you snap it shut and turn back to the party, you can see her form directly in front of you, and she kind of nods at you and goes, "Yes, this is what I was here for. I remember now. Ah, I feel better, lighter."
We'll make sure that the church gets this. It should just kind of says in general, but she's like looking in Electra's direction, which I assume there's a party member in that direction, and she makes it as seem as much as it can that she's just saying it to the general group. And she loops the notebook closed and nods to Electra, and or it looks like she's nodding to the party member through her.
Electra begins to fade, but you can see her nod, and she kind of raises up her hand like the knight from Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade, and then smiles and completely vanishes. And you can tell that she's moved on. And all of you notice that the room got a lot less cold.
Did somebody start a fire?
Marjorie misses it for a beat or two, and that because she's so used to being freaking freezing, and she's like, "Oh, no, perhaps it is less windy outside." She kind of know how drafty this place is.
All right.
Heinrich just kind of shrugs.
Heinrich, how's that stretcher coming?
Oh, Heinrich, it's far more than a stretcher. You've got yourself a full-on gurney. It's got wheels and everything. It's got brakes. It's got a mattress.
You know, I could have done more, but we are in a little bit of a time crunch, I assume. Don't want her waking up on us.
Does it recline?
Oh, you bet your ass it does.
Do
It
the wheels
reclines
fold up so you can fit it in the back of a wagon?
the legs and the head. It doesn't fold up so you can put it in the back of a wagon, but ideas for a Mark II.
You know, for the next time we're in the end of a labyrinth with finely machined Alfaxmos parts.
I mean, it does help that you had a ton of workable material.
Yep.
Oh yeah, this is just the extra stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. And I assume you just have the one for is who's gonna carry Aquafina Aquafina Aqua I forgot her name.
Who's
Aquafina.
gonna
Aquafina.
Aquafina?
Who's gonna
Uh,
carry this water?
Modest, I think.
yes. Modest.
With the assist.
Yes, Modest says that he can carry her no problem. He is being surprisingly motherly with her.
Do I think for any particular reason or just she's hurt?
You can roll an insight.
Yeah, sure. I'll do a little insighty-roo.
I want in on that. That sounds funny.
Dang it. 12. Oh, 12. I don't know how hard it is to insight him, actually.
I don't know. Social stuff is hard. Medicine is hard. I'm going back to my tinkering.
That's the spirit, Heinrich. Marjorie, you feel like Modest has some medical training. You feel like he's done this before or practiced it.
Aramis, what do you think the odds are that Valeria tries to sneak up behind us again? Or is lying in wait somewhere on the way out?
Considering that she did not succeed in what she set out to do, and that we are at a great hindrance, carrying two, for lack of a better term, sources of dead weight, then I would say almost guaranteed.
So we encounter her? I would think she thinks the deed is done. If we turn up, we turn up. If we do not, we do not. I imagine she feels she is, her position in society has armored her, and in a way, she feels confident enough to even do us harm. An interesting delusion. She crosses her arms.
I feel like she seems to be the throw type, and I feel like she would have wanted to confirm that the job was done, but I would love to be wrong.
She did not confirm on all the other many times she tried to kill Modest.
It's true, she hasn't followed through other than trying again. So either
Other
she's not
times?
very good at what she's trying to do, or Modest is a very lucky man.
Oh yeah, Marjorie will catch Heinrich up. Valoria has tried to kill Modest many times. We found that out before we fell into the cooler. Or after the cooler.
I do not like the way you keep saying many. It makes it sound like she's doing this constantly, but she is not.
How many times then? Give us a number.
Hearing that.
I don't know. I don't count. It doesn't matter. I'm fine. You're all fine.
It matters. We could have died. She is acting like a child and must be disciplined as one. It is your job. You are the older brother.
Hey, don't talk about my sister like that, all right?
She puts her hands on her, so maybe she shouldn't try to kill us.
She wasn't trying to kill us. She was probably trying to help us. She is not so good with people, you know. After we got dropped into the pit, the vault door, it led us straight to her lair. Look where we are now. If anything, we should be thanking my sister.
There is nothing wrong with warning her that such actions are not appreciated and unwelcome. She can help in other more constructive ways.
If I see her hand near another unlabeled lever, I'm going to freeze it solid.
I believe Modest is onto something. We should praise her for this.
What? Yeah, Marjorie's just
Yes,
like,
not everyone knows that her pulling the lever and dropping us into the freezer helped us.
Yeah. Reverse psychology.
yeah, Marjorie's
His eyebrows
reluctantly.
wiggle.
Yeah, Marjorie puts her hands on her hips, I suppose. But
Frustrate her
anyway,
with unintended assistance.
let us get these two closer within eyeshot of the checkpoint, so we may assess how we are going to cross. Things may have changed since we were last there. I do not want to make a plan and then realize it does not work anymore.
Right. Let's get moving then.
All right, so you guys gather up all of your stuff. You place Mad Maddie on the gurney and throw a towel or a tarp or a blanket or whatever over it to cover it up. Modeste picks up Agrafina and carries her out. He has an easy time because she is so malnourished and light. Ollie, as you're leaving, Madame Black walks next to you and she just, Master Oliver, permission to kill Modest's sister the next available opportunity?
Much as it seems appropriate, let's let the consequences come from a more appropriate place.
Why, Master Oliver, I can think of no more appropriate place than from your very lips. When you change your mind, let me know. I can make it look like an accident, if need be.
Doesn't surprise me that you would know how to do that. No, let's let her family bring down the consequences.
Oh man, she kind of like rolls her eyes and gives you a as you wish. Just keep in mind that this is his family. And she looks over to Modest, who is carrying Agrafina, and he's been talking to her the entire time. Just like having a mindless conversation about the weather and how his day is going.
Perhaps a bit of a reality check for all of them.
Looks like it used to be a pretty nice wizard tower. Do you think when this place gets cleaned up, you'll be able to have it back? Do you have a bank account? I wonder if it has been accruing interest this entire time. You might have a pretty penny on your hands. Although, not after you fix the wizard tower. I would just buy an apartment somewhere on the south side. I know a few places. Oh, I know a guy who's a realtor. You see? He just keeps going.
Guys, I just
I
realized
assume-
we're gonna have to get Daisy a bank account at some point.
Yes. I assume he's just talking and not getting any response, but he doesn't stop.
She is basically staring into the sun unblinking.
Yeah.
funny, but also definitely not funny.
I'm not trying to be funny. It helps. They like to hear your voice.
Oh, I did not mean that. Marjorie just kind of gestures, wards him away. I did not mean that. Her condition is very serious. Really, you? How do you know? Have you had other patients that have said it would helped? She
Huh?
sounds very doubtful.
Well, sometimes I, volunteer down at the clinic. But don't tell anyone because I'm not supposed to.
Why are you not supposed to?
My parents, they would kill me. And of course, any enemies of the family would probably have a very easy time getting into the clinic and trying to kill me.
Wait, who would have an easy time to kill him?
Enemies of the family, he said.
Oh, okay. something, sister. She doesn't say that though. She just nods. She's kind of curious. She's a little surprised that he. Where did this passion for the clinic come from? I do not think I know much about your education. Are you a cleric of some kind?
No, 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 not in the slightest. Ah, although, hmm, I have thought about running away to Tanis and trying to join the church. It is a foolish dream. The world, it is such a bad place. It is so depressing. It is, the duty of someone like me to bring a little happiness into it.
She looks a little surprised but happy about that. She nods. It is an admirable goal. I think it is a good idea that you do these things. It is very sweet.
You are correct. It is sweet. What are you doing later?
she laughs and I don't know. We will have to see. We do have parties to be at. And she just kind
He,
of gives him a charming smile and gets back to work.
he leans into Agrafina. That's Marjorie. She can't get enough of me.
You know, maybe joining the church would not be such a bad idea. You would have a safe distance from your sister.
She's not so bad when you get to know her. And besides, it is a foolish dream. I cannot join the church. No, I can't do that.
There are other ways to help people.
Yes, I was in the middle of one of them when I met Baba Daisy.
Middle of what?
Just he kind of trails off. But anyways, I am glad that I found Baba Daisy, because it led me to here, to all of you. What a grand adventure we are on, yes?
If anyone
Indeed.
looks at Daisy at this moment, she's made a small wicker doll that is clearly meant to be Modest's sister, and she is just stabbing it.
Most excellent.
For the time being, Madam Black is no longer mad at you. Oh, Baba Daisy and her dolls. She's so crafty.
Well, I think we should get a move on. The longer we stay here, the more likely we are to run afoul of something we do not wish to.
You guys go back through the maze, taking a far safer path. Or, actually, I would say that, you guys have a pretty easy time getting back out of the maze, because you remember everything fairly well, and I believe you guys were doing some kind of mark, but I don't remember what exactly it was.
His lipstick.
Lipstick.
Oh yeah, it was the lipstick. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's early evening on the 4th. You guys have basically spent all day inside Mad Maddie's maze.
And how far would you say? Oh, sorry. What?
No, just hooray.
Oh,
Yeah, right.
yeah. I was asking, how far of a walk are we from the checkpoint? Do we think like an hour or two? Because this is just part of Djozerstan. Okay.
Yeah, they're about.
Okay. So yeah, maybe we could start heading in that direction, and we're gonna want to cross at night anyway because we use the cover of, or no, we didn't even have the cover of night last time, so night this time would almost be essential.
But yes, you come back out the Alphasmosy looking shrine that Maddie has made, and all of the candles have more or less burned out because Maddie hasn't been around to tend to them. And the area is still filled with rubble, more or less just how you guys left it. Can you tell me your guys' passive perceptions?
16. I think Daisy and I are the highest.
18.
10.
And
Mine is 13.
So, Aramis, Marjorie, and Daisy, when you guys start making your way out of the rubble and sort of into the courtyard of this busted up meat factory, you can all tell that something is amiss. Marjorie and Aramis, you feel like you're being watched, and you're hearing noises close by that sound fairly minor, like it could be like a cat or a rat or something, but it's keeping you on edge.
Ooh, is it gonna be those kobold or were they kobolds?
They were kobolds. Daisy, you've seen this kind of thing before. It's been a while, but you've seen it before. You feel that there is an ambush waiting for you. There's a certain tension in the air that you can feel.
Daisy like licks the air and stands still. You know when snakes are smelling something, but they have to use their tongue for it. That's what she's doing. She's just standing there.
I imagine Marjorie's a little too distracted looking around to at least be off-put by this particular thing. But she calls over Marcus, and I imagine he's trying to stay mostly out of sight. Be ready. Would you happen to know what that is? Have you seen
Well,
anything?
What's the mushroom goblin lady is doing? No, I have no idea what it is. Is she a snake now?
I like turn around and then I notice like, no, not that. I hear something. It is
Oh, me
sounds like
too.
animals, like critters.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but maybe we should go back inside the murder maze where it's safe.
We need to leave. She kind of looks around. Yeah, is there anything else we can do to kind of...
Daisy would tell Heinrich after she stops licking the air that there is almost certainly an ambush.
Daisy believes that there's going to be an ambush.
She would tell you that she can taste it.
Heinrich gives a long pause before he translates that. She can taste the ambush? I
do not think we are particularly questioning the how and why of that particular comment, but all right, let us assume there's an ambush. I am unfortunately probably wrong about Valoria then. I cannot imagine who else it could be. Perhaps the gang?
I would have hoped that they would have gotten the message. After generously allowing them to survive.
Well, at least we won't be ambushed, because I assume none of us see anything. Even after
you take
Daisy
a look around,
points
and
it
all you
out.
can really see are the bare buildings and the wrecked walls.
Yeah, at that point, Marjorie would just suggest we stay near cover and hurry on our way, try and get some distance. Like, she doesn't really know what else to do about it since we can't really see them.
We could allow them to spring the trap with us knowing they are there. If we know it is coming, it will not be, much of a surprise.
I mean, it might be a waste of a use, but if we can get them following us, we did just get a orb of stationary scrying.
Oh, we pull a what is it called? A cash reversal.
Perfect. It's beautiful. I love it. What? So you're saying try and ambush them instead?
Oh yeah, just walk right into the ambush and turn it into our ambush.
Hold on. Well, we do have smoke bombs, so that would be hilarious. We could turn that around. if we like, can we take into account how windy it is and see which direction it's going in, and then maybe plan, like look down the route we're going to take, and then just kind of plan it from there? I mean, we have two basically geniuses in the party. We should be able to figure that out, right?
Yeah, you could do that.
All right, because I think, who has the smoke bombs? I forgot.
I do. I can hand them out. They're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
he has like jury rigged up a bandolier with them all, so we can just pull them off of that and hand them out.
Instead of a coat full of watches, it's full of weaponry.
Yeah, he just opens up the coat and there's a bunch of smoke grenades.
Okay. So, yeah, because I don't have. Yeah, I'll need a smoke bomb, because what? We might potentially need to drop like at least two of them for cover.
How big of an area do they cover?
Yeah, I
30
forgot.
foot radius.
Okay, so maybe one on each side of us, and we're like between the smoke, and then we could like pick at them in the smoke, maybe. Though that would give us disadvantage,
We
unfortunately.
would both have. Everyone would have trouble seeing everyone, so that would turn it into a close range encounter. But if they want to try and like shoot at us or something, that'll let us move.
We could also lob them up to them, and if they're in a room above us, like, oh, now it's in the window. Good luck seeing now in that entire house.
You know they're not above you because you guys are still in the factory.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, okay.
You're just
So
taking a
that's
look
true.
outside at like the wrecked courtyard.
We
That's
can,
true.
whatever buildings they're in, though, if we throw the grenades in front of it, that'll obscure it, and we can move around pretty freely. Besides
Okay.
the probably wild random fire, or they have to come out and fight us.
Yeah, it would force them to move if we completely change the terrain they're going to fight on. So, yeah, do we want to just preemptively throw them and just run, like point ourselves in a direction and run in that direction? Or briskly walk in, since we have like two people carrying people, basically?
Yeah, I think that's appropriate.
Okay. So we'll just, what, 2 grenades should be enough for
Do
covering
we
that?
want to try to make for our previous safe house?
Probably not. I figured we want to just get out of here, get the heck out of Dodge. At least that's my input. Let's get the hell out of here. Marjorie's done with this place. She is the done.
Yeah, although if we're being pursued, I don't want to necessarily try to get close enough to the checkpoint to be noticed while being pursued.
But like we have like 2 hours to cover. I'm not sure if they would chase us for 2 hours.
Yeah, I suppose it depends on how quickly we want to get there.
We could also lose them in the alleys and stuff. I bet there's tons and twists and turns, right?
In the alleyways of the slums and the factories, oh yeah.
Yeah, so we could potentially just lose them. So I'm not too worried. Like us just getting through their setup ambush and taking away any strengths that they've given themselves is like kind of at least my only major priority.
Let's do it then.
Yeah, unless anyone else got some ideas to throw our way.
No, I think that's a pretty solid plan.
What could possibly go wrong?
Everything.
Okay then. So what did you plan on doing first? Smokes?
Set our route and then throw the smoke bombs ahead of us. I don't know if we're going to need 2 or 3 to cross the courtyard, or if
you would very obviously feel better with 3.
Okay, that's up to Heinrich if he has 3 to give.
Oh, I got like, how many am I up to? Actually, I have 10, so yeah.
And you basically
Okay.
want to make a path of smoke towards where the alleyways are, and you want to try and use the cover of the busted up neighborhood to
Yeah.
make it to the exit.
Mm-hmm.
If nothing else, force them out of where they're hiding if they really want to fight.
Yeah,
Okay, well,
because
do you want to try and force them out of hiding, or do you want to cover your escape?
Well,
What?
both. If they want to attack us while we're doing that to escape, they're going to have to leave their hiding spots.
Yeah, that's what we mean. Like, we don't plan to necessarily engage, but if they're determined to attack us, whoever they are, they're going to have to leave their positions when we change, when, like, we're not where they expect, right? Or is that a poor assumption on our part?
No, that is more or less correct. But basically, you kind of have to run through a fairly open courtyard in order to get to these buildings.
Okay. I mean, yeah, we're
Let's
facing the
throw
music.
the
Let's.
smoke between us and the buildings so that it obscures us moving through the courtyard.
That's true. Give that a toss.
All right. So who's throwing the nades?
Someone with what, throwing his strength? We probably want Madam Black or Nadia to throw him.
Or dexterity.
Oh, that's true. Or Dex. Or Ramis, you want to try your baseball arm? No. Ooh,
Aramis is
he stepped
gone.
away. He stepped away. My
Aramis
bad.
is not with us anymore.
All right. Yeah. So
Really?
how
Oh,
about?
yeah, they
Oh,
are.
he's back. Yeah. Do you want to try and lob the smoke grenades so we could get a head start out of this courtyard?
If I must, surely I will.
All right.
Give me 3, either strength or athletics checks. Aramis, child's play. You grab these nades and very calmly, as if you are in the practice room, pull the ripcord, toss them one after another, and you guys make a basically a perfect line over towards the houses where you plan to go. And right when you start throwing them, you can hear a commotion behind one of the closest walls to the factory. And unless you want to stick around and find out what the commotion is, you should probably depart.
In case we don't get a look, would Marcus be able to kind of linger and get a little peek? Like, I tell him don't mess with them and don't let them see you, but do I think he'd be able to snatch a peek?
Oh, you're going to leave me alone here in the haunted factory? What's wrong with you? But yes, I can.
Oh, only just be careful. You've learned from last time. Don't let them see you.
Yeah, no kidding.
Stay in the walls and stuff. And then she'll take off, and just enough to tell who they are. Give us some clues.
Be careful, she says, like I was going to be reckless. So you guys, I assume, take off.
Mm-hmm.
My money's
Heinrich.
on the White Company again.
Heinrich, you and Nadia are trundling along with the gurney. Mad Maddie is like bouncing all over the place, but she's being held in by the restraints that you installed, so you're feeling pretty good about that.
Most excellent.
And you guys basically put your eyes towards your heading and just jog your way over through the smoke. There are a couple of gaps in between the smoke clouds, but they're not that big. Like, if you run straight across them, you feel pretty confident that you're not going to get hit with anything if they have ranged weapons. But when you start running, you start hearing yelling. Where they go?
Oh.
Come on! Look, they didn't say they had smoke. They knew we were here. Ah, you simpletons! Just shoot into the smoke! What do you even have muskets for, honestly? And you start hearing gunfire.
Was that Valeria?
No, you don't know who that was. It's a voice you've never heard before.
Hmm.
But I'll tell
They
you what you
sound
do
like
hear,
a
Ollie.
mixed crowd.
You do hear, Ollie. You hear a bunch of really high-pitched metal clanking. Like pink, 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 pink of two pieces of metal hitting each other, like rapidly and hard.
Can I make a quick? I guess would it be investigation if I'm just trying to think of what it could be?
Yeah, sure. It could be a really big musket misfiring, the hammer coming down on a primer or a plate and finding nothing. It could be, sounds kind of like a hammer on an anvil, but it's also kind of moving along with you guys. You can hear tons of footsteps and the sound of bodies climbing over stone walls, a bunch of cursing and yelling, and then, obviously gunfire. But Ollie, you are not confident that you have any idea what this might be.
Gross.
But the vibe you're getting is probably not good. And you guys run through the smoke, and you can hear the musket balls whizzing by you some mere inches from your head. You can hear a bunch of footsteps running towards you, as if they are running blind into the smoke, and you hear them coughing and stuff too. I want everybody to make either an acrobatics or an athletics check.
Yikes.
And since you have so much smoke, you have advantage.
Oh, I will re-roll then.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that. Oh, yay! 15. I'll take that over 5.
You want the NPCs too?
Nah, just you guys.
I'll take a 13.
19.
We'll also take a 13.
11.
So, Aramis, you're running through the smoke, and you can hear Yaraplex next to you. He says, Aramis, this Valeria lady, Modest's sister?
Yes.
Well, what do you think? Out of 10.
Oh, she is quite a handsome woman.
He nod. You can see him nodding, like his silhouette. He goes, yeah, sir. That's what I was thinking too. Do you think she's single?
Well, is now the time to talk about this?
I mean, if not now, then when? I don't know. I just thought about it. Maybe she's single. Maybe she has not felt the touch of a man for a very long time. Maybe this is why she is so grouchy and grumpy.
Well, I mean, we do not even know if it is men that she likes. I think perhaps that is a question you should try to figure out when we are safe. And he'll give him like a pat on the cheek.
Oh yeah, you're right, boss. Oh, maybe it's not men she like. Maybe that's why she hates Modest so much.
Well, okay.
Aramis, make a dexterity check. Make a dexterity save, I mean.
Did you say that the metal clicking was happening as musket balls were flying past us?
It is separate from them, but yes.
Okay.
Aramis, you are running along when you run face to face directly in to one of these goons. A humanoid-sized figure, what at first looks like some kind of lizard folk, slams into you, and your face kind of bashes into theirs a little bit, and they fall on their ass, but you keep running. And when you look back, you can see that they're wearing some kind of paper mache alligator mask. And he's got a spiky mace in one hand and a pistol in the other. But he shakes it off and he kind of half stands up and sends a pistol shot towards you. but it flies by doing nothing. And you can hear people scrambling after you. Come on, get him! Get them! It's got to be them! It's like, I can't see anything in the smoke, boss! I'm sorry! Wait, I've got one! That's me, you idiot!
Ollie's having a thought. But I don't think it's something he'd want to shout out at everyone as we're running. How are we grouped compared to them? Are we hearing them around us still, or are they mostly behind us?
At this point, they're mostly behind you. They rolled absolutely woefully, and you guys make a very clean getaway. When you exit the smoke, each one of you are basically spot on, even Ramos, even though you got turned around a little bit. You exit like the smoke right in front of the alleyway, and you just dash inside. But you are in a very skinny alleyway full of garbage cans and junk, leading into rows and rows of cheap, shitty houses, about 2 to 3 stories tall on either side.
Then when we're a little more isolated, Ollie says that he thinks that was probably either Yemilyon or was it the Maw?
They call him the Jaw.
The Jaw. So, but Yemilyon probably.
Gaping maw.
Makes sense. They left with their hides. I do not think we were particularly endearing, so they would have no reason to not report what they saw. Marjorie's like catching her breath. And quickly hurry along, directing, leading the way to the general vicinity of the checkpoint again.
One more, hold on. Okay, so all of you guys make it into this alleyway safely, and you pause very briefly to make sure everyone gets through. And Heinrich and Nadia trundle through with the gurney, which is bouncing all over the place. And lastly come Aramis and Yaraplex. And so you wanted to make your way back towards the checkpoint?
Yeah, because we just...
That's run by the Night Riders, or were you going to try and sneak your way back out too?
Oh, well, if there is one by the Night
right.
Riders...
Oh, that's right. We have, because we had to sneak into the quarantine zone inside the quarantine zone.
That's true. So now we gotta find... Well, we could go the way we came in, through the bathhouse.
Yeah, and not go in the washing machine.
And not... Well, I mean, we could all use a nice sanitation, you know?
Yeah, it's
just
a little
dump
more
a box of
aggressive
soap
than that.
in there. Yeah. But yeah, we could go through there and bypass. We know a way out, so I don't think that'll be too much of a problem. So we would just backtrack quickly as possible.
All right, hit me with whoever is leading the way. Hit me with a stealth check or a perception or an investigate.
I could be up front. Is anyone else with me?
Yeah, sure, I will be.
Okay,
I
can do perception. I'm not.
I can also make perception, don't worry, we got that. Between us, we cannot fuck it off.
Oh, I hope you roll better than me.
Why do you have to say things like that, Daisy?
There you go.
No, that's fine.
Daisy got it.
One of us had it.
Daisy, you follow your nose. Marjorie, this is a pretty unfamiliar city, actually, and you're in the slums, which have not been planned out very well. You're a little bit lost and disoriented. But Daisy, you use your nose, you follow your nose towards the smell of stale water and dish detergent. and you guys eventually do find your way back to the big old junk palisade and the wash house where you entered. And your pursuers are nowhere to be seen. You're pretty sure you lost them. You can still hear gunfire, but it is quite distant, multiple blocks away.
Nice.
They're probably shooting each other at this point.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, they are. So you guys carefully shimmy your way past the still open trap. It has not been reset, but it is off now. And you go through the wash house and find yourself on the other side of the palisade that the Night Riders set up. And when you look over to your right down the street near the checkpoint, you can see a bunch of these gangsters are showing up to the checkpoint. A bunch of them in small groups from like the various houses and streets. And you can tell that they're talking in excited voices and yelling commands and stuff, and they're shoring up their defenses because something's going down inside.
Oh, because of what we stirred up?
Probably, definitely.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I imagine we continue to make our escape and start heading towards the second checkpoint to get us out of here. Marjorie hissing to herself, I'm not sleeping out here again. We are getting back to the house.
So you guys form up again, dart across the street, and keep moving towards the general direction of the checkpoint and the train tracks. And by the time you get there, it is very much late night, midnight or later. The sky is choked with all sorts of pollution, so there are no stars out, and the moonlight is very dim, so it is super dark and creepy outside. The only lights you guys can really see are the few that are on the south side of Djozerstan and the other end of the checkpoint. Well, both ends of the checkpoint.
Oh, and so now we get a look at what we left behind. Hopefully it's lighter manned at night.
Yeah, what are they shouting?
Hit me with either a perception or investigate if you want to check out this checkpoint. Marjorie and Daisy, Heinrich, you rolled an insight. Marjorie and Daisy, Heinrich, this is the checkpoint's feeling real checkpointy to you. It's feeling mighty checkpointy. Oh yeah, there's the 11. You guys check out the checkpoint, and it is actually, unfortunately, more fortified during the night than during the day. Where there was an actual gate during the day where you thought that maybe people might be able to get in and out, the gate is sealed shut. They've put up what looks like kind of some corrugated sheet metal over it, and they locked it in place with what look like some big old screws or bolts. There are people patrolling their little palisade, and they're looking in every direction, and they have what look like some kind of magical searchlights. They look like crystal balls that are emanating a beam of light in directions running down the street directly in front of it and down the street along the train tracks, where you guys previously made your... Oh, that's where you first met the Night Riders.
Yep.
And it's illuminated pretty well. All the areas outside of those two searchlights is still pretty dim and dark.
Yeah, that's where we met Otto and Frank.
Marjorie and Aramis. Well, you guys can see that around the checkpoint, there are actually a few new corpses. As if these guys had been busy earlier in the day.
Oh, like people tried to get past the checkpoint and they just got shot?
Or they attacked the checkpoint, either or.
Oh, that's true. Well, hey, we get desperate enough. Well, How's the train track area looking? Like the way we originally, well, the other half of the party got by. Is that looking like a potential option again?
You peer over the edge and you see pitch black. The lights of the city reflecting off of some of the dirty train tracks.
Marjorie
You don't
kind of,
sense any movement, though.
she shudders. We have handled worse since the past many hours. I do not think a bit of darkness will deter us now. She gestures down to the train tracks. It is the obvious way. Hopefully not too obvious. She kind of wrings her gloved hands a little bit.
It would most certainly be the least guarded.
Yeah, would we be able to find the way we came up since we have, like, that would be a familiar route to us?
Yeah, you definitely could.
Yeah. So maybe try and find the down, I think it was stairs or tunnel that leads down to the tracks, and then
Yeah, it was a ramp.
yeah, and then weave through there because I think there was some homeless people living down there too. Pass by them and then do what we did. There might be Redfield down there or somebody again, because it wasn't Redfield who was patrolling down there.
On the southern side of Djozerstan, yes.
Oh, where are we now? Are we more like
You're still on the northern side.
okay, all right? So
I thought you said there were two Redfields guys patrolling the tracks.
Yeah, on the southern side. When you guys were
Oh.
headed over.
Tracks are splitting the difference between north and south. Got it.
Yes, correct. It's like the whole city, well, not the whole city, but a bunch of the city is built on top of rail yards. And the trains can go in and out of this gigantic, kind of a canyon where all the trains can switch around and stuff. Like, it isn't one track, it's like 100 tracks that you guys have to cross.
all right, well, can go and ferret out which way without because Marcus has met up with us by now, I assume.
He hasn't. But then suddenly, here I am!
Yeah, she jumps. All right. Perhaps. I don't know if you'd be able to do a little more recon for us. We are trying
Oh,
to.
you don't want to hear about the last recon I did for you?
Sure, of course I do.
Remember all of those little kobold gangsters that you murdered in cold blood for no reason?
She frowns, but nods.
It turns out they're part of a gang called the Gator Boys. And the reason they're called the Gator Boys is because their leader is a giant gator folk man with metal teeth.
That would explain the
Oh.
metal clicking.
Yeah, he's mashing his jaws. Marjorie.
Yeah,
just...
he did it for emphasis whenever he was getting orders or yelling at his guys for losing you.
Was that
Mm.
the woman that was yelling? Or was that him?
Oh no, he's a real big guy.
Oh, okay. Who's the tiny boy or the lady voice?
Sorry, I'm sneezing. Lady
I
voice.
know you said sneezing, but my brain definitely heard steving.
Yeah, I'm steeving pretty hard.
All day, every day.
So I guess now that you mention it, he did sound pretty effeminate. Nothing effeminate about those wands that he had, so... It looked like the kinds the axe pack carries.
You say wands, and Ollie's just... Now I wish we would have fought them.
I don't know. He used one of them to fill one of his own men full of holes.
I do not think we are in the mood for an experiment or an experience of that caliber right now. Perhaps another time. Hopefully
Yeah, I'll add it to the list.
Marcus pantomimes what he did to one of his goons. He like holds his hands in a Tommy gun sort of fashion. He goes, "Oh no, for the holes! Boss, why would you do this?"
Marjorie kind of sighs. I am glad we were not there for that. But she looks down. I'm afraid of getting too close to the searchlights. Will the searchlights reach the tunnel we would be trying to go to, or is that pretty good out of the way?
It kind of reaches it. It sort of outlines the tunnel, but you feel pretty comfortable going that you will get away with it. You don't think any of the troops are going to leave the checkpoint, even if they did see you.
Oh, okay. All right, so never mind. We could just go if we think we'll make it. Like, not too worried about it. It's just out of the reach. And Marjorie tells Marcus to stay with us. Like, no, we will stay together. Good work, Marcus. Very good.
They tried really hard to get to you, but they just kept fumbling over and over again.
She commends his success. He did a great job.
He puts his hands on his hips and looks very proud of himself. So you guys want to go into the train tunnel?
Yes.
Well, the wagon tunnel to the train tracks, I should say.
Tunnel down to the tracks, yes.
Yeah.
So you guys line up, press control to enter sneak mode, and head on over to this ramp. And you go on down it, and the pitch black of the outside actually lightens up because of all the trash can fires. There are a couple dozen of them up and down the maintenance road that leads to the left and right when you exit the ramp. And you can tell that none of these trash can fires are anywhere near the ramp because that's what people use to enter and exit. And when you guys come out and take a look around, you can see the silhouettes of the figures around the trash can fires just fucking leave. They scatter like rats.
Probably for the best. Do not want other people to get dragged into this. She kind of looks. So around the tracks is like made of rocks and stuff, right?
Yes, correct. There's like the gravel around the train tracks proper. On the inside, where you guys are right now,
it's still concrete
the tracks
or whatever.
It's like concrete and boards and stuff.
Okay, because I was thinking, is there a way to lift the wheels up, and then I assume two people will have to carry Maddie. Otherwise, that's gonna be loud as heck and cumbersome.
Yes. Nadia volunteers to carry one end, and you can tell that Madam Black won't be happy about it, but she can carry the other.
Just to wheel her across the other side, and then we can roll it again.
Yes, well, as long as you say it's not contagious, Master Oliver, I shall do as asked.
I am confident in my assessment.
Still think we should have brained her, but very well. She glances towards Maddie and just kind of goes, ugh.
Yeah, Marjorie encourages her because, what if we did get it? Like, we would need the clerics to, solve the disease so that we won't perish. Give her a little incentive, like, hey, someone else can figure it out.
Well, hopefully you're right, and we didn't catch it. So you guys roll the gurney as far as it'll go, and you pick it up at the edge of the train tracks. Everybody hit me with a stealth check. At least whoever wants to cross. Wow.
Dang.
Someone carry the bard. Yeah, Marjorie's exhausted. She's lucky that she's already lucky enough she wore her riding boots and not heels on this adventure. What a disaster that would have been.
I assume that 5 is just Daisy bat rolling.
Daisy doesn't understand what sneaking is quite yet. She knows that she's had to do it in the past, but also not really.
She
Oh,
just
Daisy,
assumes.
you've got to be quiet.
She's not just trying to give Modeste carrot sticks.
No, not carrot sticks. It's really good though. Not carrot sticks, but you've got to be quiet, Mama Daisy. Marjorie. Marcus keeps popping up next to you. So, then are we going to get to the investigation of my murder? Just seems like I've been doing a lot of work for you recently, even though I was the one who hired you, and I'm starting to think that maybe it's a little bit of a bum deal. Maybe you're trying to get out of working for me here. And I say that's a very bad idea if that's what you're on to.
She's like, she tries not to talk back, but obviously he goads her into it a little bit, where she's like, Marcus, how do you expect me to cross a country I know nothing about?
Well, usually people take a train, but I don't think the trains run in Dumat anymore. You can hire a carriage or ride along with a caravan. You have a horse, so you can do it yourself. I'm just, shooting out ideas out here. It seems to be a pretty simple concept to me, to be honest.
Dumont is at war. If I do not want to end up like a corpse like you, I'm going to have to plan my course accordingly.
Corpse like me? What does that mean? What, do you not like my ghostly form?
You're not a corpse now. Your corpse is somewhere else. And they start bickering softly with each other.
You guys just hear, what's wrong with my hat? Nothing's wrong with my hat! Oh, there's a hole in my hat! When did that happen? And from the checkpoint on the southern side of Djozerstan, you see a couple of searchlights pointing down in your general direction. And they begin waving around and searching for you guys. Everybody hit me with another round of stealth checks.
Okay, at least that. Can I actually grab Marcus and shut him up? She's so frustrated now. She just puts hands on him and quiet and shakes him.
If I need to, I will use something.
Guys, Modeste isn't eating enough vegetables. This is an issue that needs to be solved now.
Oh, hey, Ollie and I switched places.
Yep.
You guys bob and weave in between kind of disheveled, switching shacks and various little maintenance sheds and some upturned railway cars and various debris that's dotting the railroad tracks because they've been in disrepair for years. And you bob and weave around these two searchlights, but even though you guys aren't doing quite as well as you could be, they don't find you, and you make it across the tracks to the other side. And the searchlights stay on for another few minutes after you pass, but eventually they also turn off. It would seem that the checkpoint is satisfied that no one has crossed. And you find yourself in the empty-ass train depot on the southern side of Djozerstan.
Well, that was a bit tense. Let's make sure we avoid any red field on this side as well.
Funny you should mention it.
Yeah, I had a feeling. Why would they not be here?
You enter the way you came in yesterday. You pull aside the boards, and then you all crouch and enter the actual depot itself, and shut the boards behind you. And this place is illuminated way more than the north side. And a very short distance away, you can see a fairly large group of what are obviously mercenaries sitting around a bit of a campfire they've made out of junk, and they're all laughing and telling stories, and a few are even standing guard around them, keeping an eye on the area. And Ollie, you can tell that some of them are Redfield and others are White Company.
Yikes. Is it any of the same White Company?
I was about to say, did they ever get an ID on us? They never got a good look at us, did they? Like, not faces?
Just Marcus.
Yeah, just Marcus, really.
And he's not going to be anywhere, so. Actually.
But if you want to try and get specific like faces to these guys, you'd have to get a little bit closer.
We could also just do the same thing Marcus did and scare the crap out of them.
I was going to suggest I can scare the crap of them if people would like me to.
That's true. Yeah. Hey, yeah, Daisy could give it a try. What you got in mind?
Something that will horrify everybody, not just them. I won't even need to wild shape for it.
Won't
even need to wild shape.
I guess it depends how brave these guys are. Well, with you and Marcus coupled together, you'd probably make a very convincing, horrifying thing. So if things don't, keep going your way, we could add Marcus to it. He could assist you.
True.
So yeah, sure, give it a try.
Can Daisy see a shadow somewhere? Like, anywhere nearby them?
Oh yeah, they're sitting around a campfire. There's tons of harsh shadows.
Oh, wonderful. I need a harsh shadow and a can.
Like a tin can?
Yeah, a tin can.
Plenty of those around.
Cool. A tin can is going to roll out of one of the harsh shadows nearby them. Just enough to grab some attention.
And I assume you're rolling this tin can?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
We're all hidden, I assume.
Hit me with a stealth check, or if you want to try and get closer.
It's better than the 6.
An improvement is an improvement.
Is if I make noise but they don't see me, that's still a win because it's creepy.
One of the pickets they've set out does a double take in your general direction. This area is covered in all sorts of debris and gravel and stuff, and you can't help but make little crunchy sounds. And he starts making his way over, and you can see the glint in his eyes as he's narrowing his eyelids, trying to see what it is. He's a human, and he's pretty close to you.
I would try to blend into the harshest shadow I can, even going as far to try and look like moss on some wood. Use the mushroom and my figure to try and literally look like I'm part of the debris.
One sec.
Yikes.
Well then, very perceptive fellow.
Don't worry, I've had a backup plan this entire time.
Horse.
It's so much worse than horse.
You can see the silhouette of him putting his hand on his saber, and he's reaching into his coat and taking something out. And you hear a click, and he's got a lighter in his hand, which illuminates him and you. And his eyes go wide.
Anyway, I would tilt my head much further than any head is supposed to tilt. My eyes would shimmer over black, and the black ichor that lives inside me would start pouring out of my eyes, my mouth, and my fingernails, and I would reach out towards him. My hope is that this man is gonna shit himself.
He screams like a little girl.
Nice.
Ah! Something's out here! Something's here! And all of the mercenaries around the fire kind of pause for a second and begin to get up and get their weapons.
Wonderful. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to expend a wild shape because now I'm on my backup plan. And what's now going to happen in front of this man is a clawed foot is going to touch his foot, and 3 claws are just going to tick, tick, tick. And then a second clawed foot, tick, tick, tick. And then an undead, jaw broken, 1 claw broken velociraptor is going to rear its head, look him dead in the eyes, and just go.
Make an attack roll.
Marjorie to everyone else, like around the corner. So, are we going to fight our way out? It's just like we're just bewildered around the corner.
Well, I guess so. Unless they all run at that.
Well, a 14 doesn't hit, but you get your claws onto his armored feet, and he is continually nonstop Homer Simpson screaming while whipping around his saber ineffectually. And you guys can see the Redfield mercenaries behind him just jumping up and getting their weapons ready. And you see one of their leaders getting his whip out, and he goes, "Bloody hell! A dinosaur down here? Huh, better rouse the lads. What do you think?" Indeed. Run, go. And one of them drops his gear and sprints off into the opposite direction.
Oh, I mean, that's one less guy.
But he's going to get more guys.
Yeah, we need to be, like, out of here.
Just leave. I am being a distraction for now. Just leave.
Okay.
It will most likely survive.
Okay,
I'm gonna run. I'm not gonna
Well,
fight.
because
I'm
how
gonna
many
run.
guys are here right now?
Like 20.
Oh, that would have been an important number. Oh crap!
You guys should leave. I'm a velociraptor, so I'm probably faster than most of them right now.
Okay, so hold on. What's around us right now? Like, what is around these guys? Is there like an overhang? A wood part of the tunnel? Are we still in the concrete part?
There is a large stone pillar fairly close, it's like right next to their fire pit that they're using. And above that is a bunch of concrete and steel beams holding up the city above. Beneath them and around them are the usual garbage and tipped over shacks and busted up tents of the various drifters they've obviously kicked out of here. Why? What did you want to try and do?
Well, I was hoping to... So, because it's a narrow passageway, we would have to run past them no matter what, right? I'm just trying to get,
You
like,
could,
the area.
You could take a route around them. It is not a passageway. It opens up fairly well because you guys are in the entrance where train cars would be parked and unloaded. There are some like rusty cranes and stuff nearby.
Because we're at the depot, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Because I was thinking in order to get them to leave, I could shatter the ceiling, like while we're running by, so then they choose to flee instead of attacking Daisy. It's dangerous, and I would want to be like in the process of running past them before I did that. And that's going to be really loud. But
the ceiling is mostly concrete, so yeah, that'd shatter and cover them in dust and stuff.
yeah, because I don't think it would collapse it, just it would be a lot of debris.
No, you know it wouldn't collapse it.
Okay, excellent. So is everyone up for that? That might provide us with the extra cover we need.
Sure.
Okay.
Dinosaur.
Right. Dinosaur. Okay, so I am going to cast Shatter. That's a pretty good shatter, actually. At the ceiling above them to give them some heart attacks and make them worried about the structure above them as we are sprinting by.
All right, Daisy, you can see. All of you can see the shatter. Marjorie, you point at the ceiling above these guys, and it explodes, sending chunks of concrete and stone in all directions. And the huge poof of dust from the explosion instantly extinguishes the fire, making it very dark again. And Daisy, you can hear some of these guys yelling and pointing in Marjorie's general direction, and you feel like he's telling his troops to split up.
Oh yeah, I probably lit up like a Christmas tree when I cast a 2nd level spell. Oops.
Marjorie, you can hear these guys saying, "Oh, there's more than one! Spellcaster, split up!"
Oops. Yeah, Marjorie's like, shit.
Oh, you can also say, "You three, to the front! Direct us!" And make an insight for me.
Inside. I assume everyone.
Whoever wants to, because you can all more or less hear this.
Are they referring to the white company?
Marjorie, you succeed. You see some of the silhouettes of these figures moving around in the dust, and the 3 that move you remember seeing are elves, and they've got dark vision, and so he is trying to get those with dark vision to move around and direct those without dark vision towards you guys.
Yeah.
Ollie, you realize this as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, let's why are we on the move already?
Oh man, I hope so.
Yeah, Marjorie's very quickly trying to change the origin of her cast, like where she was. So quickly get the heck out of here.
Ooh, you know what, Ollie?
Mm-hmm.
You can sort of, for a brief few moments, see the silhouettes just like Marjorie can, and you remember which ones were the white company, and you can hear one of the other Redfield guys saying something to them, and you can see them begin to leave.
The white company guys?
Yes, you can see them leaving. And you're pretty sure you heard one of the Redfield guys saying, "Go on! They can't see us!"
How far away from everything are we?
You are a comfortable 40-ish feet away from what Daisy is doing right now. But if each one of you wants to do something, Marjorie did a shatter. If the rest of you guys want to try and do something while Daisy is beginning the distraction, you may do so.
Should I enhance the distraction greatly, or should I try to keep a bunch of them, or at least as many of them as I can, in place?
That's up to you guys.
I feel like I should abstain from voting because I want to be a big dinosaur.
Oh yeah, you spent your wild shape. You wanna be the dino.
I want to swallow a man whole.
I mean, if you get enlarged,
Yeah, I'm not sure if your Velociraptor's big enough to. Alright, you'd have to be like a T-Rex to do that, wouldn't you?
Listen, I could take someone's head off. That's all I need. A T-Rex, yeah.
I think we were also trying not to, because I think if we kill someone, they're gonna be way more adamant about catching us than if we just slip by them. Right?
Yeah, alright, we can run. Keep them in place then. Daisy will get ready to leave.
Yeah, Marjorie's running.
Then as we run past, I will enlarge the dinosaur.
No, I need to leave. Do not enlarge the dinosaur.
I can. Do you want me to reduce you?
No, keep as many of them in place as you can. You said that was an option.
Yeah, I'll do that instead.
Yeah, do that one. I got a plan for my own escape because we're going to be.
Well, it's a damaging spell, so I can still try it.
Yeah, I believe we're ready if you are.
Then I will use that. And
I
I
read
will
that wrong and I thought it was my name for a second.
spray it wide. Oh, yeah. Spray it wide. Just try to catch as many of them as I can. Not trying to do damage so much, even though that was a fantastic freaking damage roll.
You can catch the 3 that are immediately around Daisy.
Do that. Make it easier for them to flee.
Well, one of them succeeds. All right.
Actually,
You-
it should only be 16 damage, because it added my intelligence modifier by accident.
All right, you throw down a huge sheet of ice and you watch as 2 of the guys running up to Daisy get frozen in place, but the fella she's fighting continues to wave his saber in her face and try to hit her. He is hollering, "Help me! Help me! It's a dinosaur, but it's more than a dinosaur, it's a monster!" Did
Can I
anybody
lick
else
his
want to?
face?
Did anybody else want to try and help Daisy?
Yeah, sure. I'll shoot one of the frozen ones. Send a
Good
message.
Go for it. Yeah, it hits.
Oh, hey, whoa. Yeah, good hit.
You hit one of the frozen guys and he explodes into ice cubes. Is everybody else running? Or actually, I think Aramis is the only one left.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
There's
just run up and shout.
NPCs.
Most of them are helping carry the 2.
That's true. I think Yaroplex the only free one.
Yeah. Yaroplek will try and help Daisy by creating a diversion.
Oh, wonderful. A diversion from the diversions. Perfect.
Just in case.
All right, Yaroplek reaches into his coat and he pulls out a tin can that's filled with a bunch of like nuts and bolts and nickels, and he whips it into the darkness, and it makes a huge racket, mildly distracting a bunch of these Redfield guys. So Daisy, you'll be able to use disengage as a bonus action if you choose to leave fairly quickly.
Oh, I'll be leaving very quick. I'm just gonna traumatize this man for his entire life first.
Speaking of this man, he tries to stab you with his saber.
He does not.
And one of his 2 friends that is still alive tries to shoot you with their musket.
He does.
Oh, no, don't hit me! Don't hit me! Quit your complaining! I'm frozen to the bloody ground! And the rest of you guys, I assume, are booking it, correct?
Yes.
Much yes.
All right. You guys, while Daisy is very successfully distracting these people, Daisy, also, you definitely totally like this guy. He screams even louder. The Homer Simpson scream just gets more and more higher pitched the longer this lasts.
As it do.
But you guys kind of rotate on these fellas and take a roundabout route over to the ramp that you used to get here in the first place. You try to keep as much stuff in between you and the Redfield guys as possible, but they are beginning to push in all directions. They're trying to find who else is out there and trying to get around them and stall them until support arrives. So you're never too far away from these guys. But you do get past them, more or less, and when you get to the ramp, you find that there are about 10-ish mercenaries hanging out by the end of the ramp. There's a group of about 10-ish of the White Company mercenaries, and they are it looks like they're having a very heated discussion. Some of them keep looking back towards the fight with Daisy, and others keep looking up towards the ramp. What are we going to do? Just leave them there? Of course! We've got a mission! We got him, didn't we? And now we've got to deliver him! So you're just going to leave our comrades there and just let them get eaten by whatever the hell that was? Yes, that is exactly what I intend. If they were any good at their jobs, like we are, then they wouldn't have gotten into that situation. Now let's go! And the officer or leader kind of swats at these guys and pushes them up the ramp, and they make their escape.
Got who?
Oh, you see that their leader, when he turns around to go, he has got a big full sack on his back. It's the sack.
I think they got a guy, because that's what they were here for.
Indeed.
Yeah, they must have.
I wonder what they want one for. How ominous.
We're not missing anyone, are we?
Well, you do a quick head counting? No, you are not missing anyone. Well, other than Daisy. Speaking of which, Daisy, you are very quickly going to be surrounded and or overwhelmed.
Yes.
You are dueling with a very terrified Redfield mercenary who is covered in frost.
Okay.
And screaming. He's doing a lot of screaming.
Heinrich shot his friend, right? And his friend's dead.
One of them is. Another is frozen in place.
I don't know. Shock came out of nowhere, and this guy's shattered now.
There are chunks of flesh, right?
I mean, if someone's dead already, I mean, I don't really have to hold back from the guy in front of you now if you really want to.
No. I'm going to flee. I just need to traumatize him horribly.
Yeah, there's bits. He's got a body.
Okay, wonderful. I like Daisy very quickly goes down, scoops up some flesh, comes back up, licks this guy's face again, smearing his friend's flesh all over it, snarls in his face, bonus action disengages and fucking bolts it.
Love it.
Vile flea.
You do this, and you guys ever seen the Three Stooges where they like use the rolling paint applicator and they put it over their faces and they got like their tongues out and everything, and they kind of afterwards. That's what happens to this guy, but with gore. And from the shadows, Daisy, you like look back and a bunch of his boys come up on him and they're like, "Oh, are you okay?" And then he continues screaming because he stopped screaming once you licked him. And you feel pretty good about traumatizing this one particular guy.
See, so what I have done is I've inadvertently killed that man because 5 years down the line the PTSD is gonna get him.
Or sooner. Daisy, either hit me with a athletics, acrobatics, or a stealth check. If you do stealth, you will get advantage because you are in the dark.
He said that after I dragged the dice for acrobatics. God damn it. Oh, it's fine. No, I'll take it. Because, yeah, no, that's fine. I'm okay with that. Also, it would be a 16 because I'm a Velociraptor, so it's +3, not +2.
Okay, so these elves that have the dark vision, that are leading their fellows, they can sort of keep track of you, but their fellows, not so much, because they're in the dark. But a couple of them tell their guys to shoot in a general direction, and some of them actually manage to get close enough to try and get a decent shot at you. Holy crap.
Who are those hit?
A fusillade of fire goes your way while you are passing by in a rusty old crane, and the bullets rip through it, sending shrapnel all over the place.
I'm alive.
Yeah, I was about to say, how
Yeah, I
much
was about to
health
say-
does this raptor have?
Yeah, how you looking, Daisy?
I currently have 4 hit points.
Well, you run your happy ass and all 4 of your hit points back to the ramp. And you manage to just barely make it in order to rejoin your party. As since you are a fast ass raptor, you get to them before they're 100% finished clearing the ramp.
Oh yeah, because you guys see a dinosaur. A very undead, horrible dinosaur, but a dinosaur nonetheless.
If it's horrifying, we just assume it's you at this point.
Yeah, kinda.
I meant more that it's a dinosaur in the core empire.
If it's
Yeah.
horrifying and not trying to kill us, it's Daisy.
Like
Like-
how in the span of 3 days we've gone from "Dear God, what is that thing?" to "Oh, it must be Daisy."
It happens so
We've-
frequently,
Daisy.
we've become desensitized.
Yeah, we're already like, I mean, I'm still going to want to puke, but I understand kind of what's going on.
I mean, in all fairness, I did post the image of Dinosaur Daisy. You might all want to puke. This was my masterpiece image that I found. It's so horrifying.
Oh,
I'm
I
so
love that
happy.
image. It was great.
It's like it's missing one of its claws. Its eyeballs aren't in the sockets. It's
I
beautiful.
think it's
I'm
missing
so
an
happy.
arm in the picture.
Let me just
Oh,
get
yeah, I
up
know.
one of these here. There we go. That's what that needed.
There you
Yeah,
That
go.
needs some
Buying it, but yeah.
tears.
Perfect.
Yeah. Oh, so glad.
But
Thing just licked a guy.
oh jeez, yeah. So we book it. We want to get out of this area.
You gotta cheese it before the fuzz comes.
I guess we need to find
You-
the closest church. It's kind of late.
I dropped my wild shape because we're in the actual city now. I'm smart enough to not be a dinosaur.
Yeah, you guys can hit me with either an investigate, a perception, or a stealth.
Can I heal myself?
Well, yeah. I would recommend that you do so.
Ooh, 26 healing. I'm basically at max.
Wow, I've learned nothing.
Dang. I've learned
I have
nothing.
28. I had 4. I am a max.
Okay, so
Did
you
not know
guys...
you're still a raptor?
No, they dropped the raptor for me.
I can't heal while a raptor. Plus, we're in the city, so I need to drop it.
Wait, did they change the way the health works then?
Yes. So now, when I get my health, it is my level times 2 as temporary hit points, and I no longer lose wild shape until I fully run out of hit points.
Oh, but it's your
That's a nice
actual health
change.
now instead of like a.
Yeah, so it's my
Yeah.
actual health, but I can't pop. So like,
Ew.
yeah, it's different.
Both
but
good
I
and
kinda-
bad. It's just different.
Honestly,
That's
I
more
kinda
dangerous.
prefer it.
I like it.
Well, but it also means I can become something like a fucking rat with 32 hit points.
That's true. That's a lot of health.
Yeah, true.
So it's like bear, less hit points, rat, lot more hit points.
Yeah. Makes you last a little longer as the smaller critters now.
Yeah, plus they increase the duration of wild shape overall, so it's just a lot nicer for helping you stay as what you turn into, which was kind of the goal, I believe, when they were talking about it.
Now, Ollie, I just want to mention how important it was that those guys were more or less incapacitated because they would have not had disadvantage.
Sweet. Positioning, positioning, position. Location, location, location.
Oh my.
Oh.
First, I also incapacitated one of them, but through fear.
Yes, his mind is blank now. He's gonna have to go to the mental institution. Probably. I don't know, I'll roll for it. We'll see.
That guy's gonna come
So I
back,
assume
he's
we're
gonna be a
still booking it.
Yes. You exit the ramp and you guys try and find the best possible route to get you out of the way of the attention of the authorities. Because once you exit the ramp, you can hear the sound of hooves in the distance and the telltale sounds of wagon wheels going over cobblestones. So you guys clear the streets, head into the nearest alleyway, and start making your way towards. You said, are you going back to the Novikov residence, or are you going to the nearest chapel?
We need to drop these people off first. They're like a burden to us right now, and there's no way we want to bring them back to the house.
Yeah, chapel and a hospital, or one if there can be the same thing, because clerics.
Chapel is basically a hospital for poor people at this point. The church runs on charity. But yes, you guys head off into the alleyways, and you barely make it in when you see multiple wagon loads of what look to be Dumont regulars heading down towards the breach in the train station. Each wagon has like maybe 20 guys in it, so maybe about 100 guys they send.
Yikes.
And you can tell that they are very serious about sealing those breaches. So you guys head into the alleyways of kind of the industrial area close to the train tracks, and eventually the industrial area gives way to more tenement houses and row houses and stuff. And it is dead of night to the point of almost being dead of morning. It's like 2 a.m. at this point.
Ugh. Yeah, we're dragging, but we'll try and find a chapel because I feel like it'd make it even harder to get back to the house with these 2 extra folks.
Heinrich, you use the power of Alfaxmos autism to properly and precisely locate the most logical place where a chapel would be. You guys round a corner, and in kind of a 5-way intersection of a bunch of different streets coming to the same point, you see a big, ratty-looking triangular building with the sun and moon symbol of the church hanging off of it. It is old empire looking, mostly stone with some kind of faded tile roof and overhangs. But it does have a little neon open sign and what looks like a single light on the first floor. It is a magical neon sign, so it's not like literally neon, but it is glowing, and instead of buzzing, it kind of
It sputters. It sputters and crackles.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Is there a door to knock on, or do you just walk in?
There is a door you can knock on.
Oh, yeah,
You try the
Marjorie.
door, and it is locked.
Yeah, she runs up and gives it some brisk knocks.
All right, you give the door a big old knock, and you don't hear anything, but you do see a little pull string that has a red label on it that says emergency in white letters.
Well, if there's an emergency, this sure is one, and she'll give it a little pull.
You pull the lever, Kronk.
Pull the lever, Kronk. Hopefully it's not wrong lever.
You give it a dainty little Celestine lady tug, and you find that it doesn't budge an inch. So you give it like a full-on tug to kind of like, maybe you need to pull it harder. You give it a full-on tug, and you hear the sound of metal crashing up above you on one of the upper floors, and what sounds like a bunch of liquid spilling all over the place. And you just hear somebody yell, "Fuck!" And you hear the thud, thud, thud of what sounds like somebody running down the stairs. And you see, coming from inside the building, a lumpy, looming figure of what looks like a very tall, chunky, and muscly tabaxi, who is gray and black. And he opens up the door, and he's got the angry eyes. And he says, All of yous had better be dying, and none of yous had better be adventurers.
Oh, no.
He is sopping wet and covered in water.
Oh, I apologize. It was not my intention. I did not know what Celine did. But no, we are not adventurers. We have two very sick and or wounded individuals that need immediate attention.
Lady, you're looking a little bit like a mercenary, perhaps a soldier of fortune, or dare I say, an adventurer. What is the nature of this medical emergency, and does it have anything to do with you fighting monsters underneath the earth, perhaps in a dungeon or tomb?
She looks at herself, and I assume I realize that I'm covered in dust.
And filth, yes.
Yeah. No, that. Oh, like she's a little upset that he's mistaking her for some like vagabond adventurer. Like, no, you ever thought wrong.
This was entirely above ground.
Yeah, this was entirely above ground. It was very high above. Some of it was high above ground. Anyway, she pulls out Electra's journal. I am here on behalf of the fallen paladin, Electra of Genna. I am here to complete her mission. I have for you a patient from with the labyrinth curse and a victim that she had imprisoned. She has been starved and kept in a cage for some time, quite malnourished. She will need attention immediately.
Electra? Fallen? Labyrinth curse? Crap in a hat. This is why I hate adventurers. Should have gotten rid of that stupid emergency cord. He walks back into the clinic.
Are we allowed to
You
walk
guys
in
gonna,
after?
you guys gonna come in or what?
She jumps and hurries in after him, gesturing for everyone else to follow.
All right. Bring him in. He leads you into a back room in a very cramped doctor's office with a little operating table on it. He puts on his little stethoscope, and he's got the little round reflector on his head. He says, all right, show me what you got over here.
I would
Imagine
have
we just
him
Pull
look
a
at.
sheet off of.
Well, I would actually have him look at the wizard first, the prisoner first, because
Yeah.
we would need to warn him not to magically investigate Maddie.
Uh-huh.
So we sit I keep forgetting her. I keep wanting to say Aquafina.
Agrafina.
Agrafina. We would whoever's carrying her. Modest.
Drink some water.
Yeah, I direct him to sit her down or lay her down so that he can take a look at her.
All right, Modest gently places her down on the examination table, and your boy, when he's putting on all his gear, turns around and goes, "Oh, hey, Modest! Whoa, boy! Whoa, what's going on?" And they gotta like shake hands as if they haven't seen each other in a while. It's like, "Whoa, you hanging around with this bum for yous guys?" It's the clinic.
Oh, this is his clinic?
You see him kind of slink away a little bit. He kind of stays in the background while
Modest.
while your boy here checks up on Agrafina.
And Marjorie
He
looks
goes,
around.
"Oof, yeesh, what did you guys take her off the street or something?" He like looks at her arms, no needle marks. Wonder what a drink of choice is, huh? What's your poison, kid? Not a talker.
Starvation. Dehydration.
Yeah, no kidding. This doesn't look like you needed a clinic at all. Buy this chick a lunch or something. I'll get her on fluids, get her some soup, something to eat, yada yada. Modest, you know where the kitchen is. You wanna? He goes, of course. He picks her up and takes her off. She looks real familiar, though. She might have come in here a few times.
Oh. Well, the next case we have is not so easy.
He He sees like a body on a gurney covered in a sheet, and he's going, well, I mean, it's not looking good. You probably should have taken this guy to the morgue.
You must read this first, and I offer him Electra's book or journal.
Yeah. Before I read it, though, why don't you explain to me what you're talking about a fallen paladin? And he starts flipping through the book.
And Marjorie will explain. Electra, she is from Vienna. She is, the writer of the book. We found it along with her possessions on her body. She had fallen victim to one of the labyrinths that the victims of the labyrinth's curse make. She was here to acquire a sample patient to study so that we may find a cure for the curse. She shrugs as if that's kind of like self-explanatory enough.
And while you're explaining, he's flipping through the journal, and he's doing the ratatouille, like getting more and more serious, and then his eyes get wide, and he like looks at the gurney, and then looks at you guys, looks back at the gurney, looks back at you guys. You telling me you brought the body of one of these guys here? That's crazy.
No.
We don't know nothing about it. It could spread to us. We don't know nothing about this labyrinth curse or whatever it is.
On the contrary, flip to the last page.
This is not a party, they are very much alive.
He starts
Drugged
to
out
flip
of
to
their
the,
mind.
starts to flip to the last page and does the slow turn to you, Heinrich, like, you got one of these guys still alive?
Well, we have not checked in a while.
He reaches over to the blanket, pulls it off, screams, puts it back on. I was not ready for that. Oh, wow. Hold on a sec, you guys. He reaches into one of the cabinets behind him, and you hear, like, bottles clinking around. He takes a couple out, kind of hems and haws between them, puts one back, and the one that he takes out, he uncorks and just downs it. Oh, yeah, that's stuff. All right, let's try this out. He takes the tarp off and gives Maddie an examination. Partway through, he kind of makes a face, and he gets a couple of syringes ready and injects her with a bunch of stuff. You're not really sure what it is.
You must be entirely non-magical in your assessments. I risked learning magically, and it almost didn't go well.
He kind of does a little double take with his eyes and says, so you sure it didn't almost go well? You sure it actually went well? Did you check yourself afterwards? Mister, I know everything about this crazy rare cursed disease that only spreads magically or whatever.
I'm pretty positive.
It was very visual, wasn't it?
Buddy, you're either positive or you're not.
Because we saw it try to build the bridge between him and Maddie, didn't we? Or was it not as physical?
I mean, you saw what you saw.
Oh, okay. I just didn't know if that was like a metaphorical kind of thing, but okay. Like I feel like we'd speak up for Ollie. It is a physical manifestation. You can see it attempting to connect, and you can see whether it does or not. It did not.
At least it was when I used some special magic at my disposal to identify from a distance. At least allowed me to break the connection before it took hold.
All right. Sorry for offending your delicate sensibilities. I'm sure you're super healthy or whatever. He sticks a tongue depressor in Maddie's mouth and just goes, geez, even on her tongue? What the fuck? Well, it looks like whatever this disease does to the body really toughens it up, which is lucky for us, I guess, because she was in the middle of an overdose.
Marjorie just has her hands behind her back, like,
Now, I ain't never heard of no Paladin Electra, but, well, I can see what's what with some of the Paladins when they come round later today. In the meantime, gotta lock the door behind this lady. Maybe give her something, give her a little something to keep her extra asleep for a long time. He just kind of grimaces at her and starts washing his hands in the sink. We're not supposed to ask because of privacy concerns, but you must excuse me if I find myself, how do you say, pretty fucking curious about how all of this came to be. Where'd you find her? What are the circumstances of you getting her, capturing her, and possibly most importantly, where the hell are you guys anyways?
Well, I was seeking to recover some of my lost items.
Inventory.
And has lost.
Uh-huh. You're saying this lady stole something from you?
Well, I do not believe that she knew it was mine, but yes.
Sounds complicated. What about you, fairy princess? What's your deal? Points to you, Marjorie.
My deal. I was, she kind of looks back at Heinrich, helping a client. I was helping him locate, his inventory. I'm an investigator.
He narrows his eyes. An adventurer. I knew it.
That
I
is...
could smell it on you.
She points at him. That is a big difference.
Really? Explain it to me, what the difference is between an adventurer and an investigator.
It is like being a police officer without the formal training. I have different training, different schooling.
Schooling and adventuring, gotcha.
She like crosses her arms. She's not really sure how to like counter argue that though. But she looks mildly offended.
Oh yeah, I got my eyes on you, lady. What about you, fancy pants? You with the hair? He points to you, Ollie. The heck are you doing here? You don't look like an adventurer.
Well, take that as a compliment. Call it a business venture.
I see that your business involves kidnapping and being filthy?
When I need to get my hands dirty, yes.
He narrows his eyes. I was wrong. You're definitely an adventurer too. Got my eyes on you too, fancy pants.
In the background, Marjorie's prestidigitating herself clean.
Adventure capitalist.
Oh no! And what about you, quiet fancy pants? He points at you, Aramis. Oh, wait. Order of the Lion and Rose, right?
Yes, I'm surprised that you know of us.
Oh, I know all about you knights. Bunch of adventurers, all of you.
I guess so. You could say I am hired muscle.
Yeah, sure. Hired muscle, hired talkers, jabberers, a lot of charisma in you. He leans in. I got my eye on you too, adventurer boy. Don't you try nothing. And don't try to sweet talk me with your fancy words, neither. It ain't gonna work.
Oh, no, I not dream.
So polite, so demure, you make me sick. Oh, what a class act. He turns to you, Daisy. What the fuck is this?
I hand him a flower.
Oh, flower. He kind of like stares at you for a second. What the fuck is this?
Heinrich
I smile.
shrugs.
If Modest was here, he would say this is Baba Daisy, and she does her best impression of Modest.
Oh wow, what a jerk.
She's feeling
Baba.
extra.
Baba Daisy.
Oh yes, you can ask Modest. You both are
you-
friends, obviously. He would know.
He looks at the black ichor dropping from Daisy's mouth. Baba Daisy, you appear to be excruciatingly injured and or filthy. Do you require medical attention, sweetheart?
She thinks that he likes his flower, so she's gonna hold out her hand and grow another flower from her skin and hand it to him.
Oh, okay. That explains some things, I think. Want me to... Am I picking it out of your flesh here? Or are you just showing me? Am I taking these?
She'd use her other hand to pick it and offer it to him.
Oh, wow. That is upsetting. Thank you so much, Baba Daisy. I am going to log your existence away for later in case it becomes relevant, because this seems very strange. Very, very strange.
I agree.
He reaches into the cabinet and he hands you a bottle of cough syrup. If that doesn't take care of whatever's going on with the mushrooms in your flesh, come back to the clinic and I'll see what I can do for you.
I eat the bottle. I eat the entire bottle of cough syrup.
I imagine one of us would have. I imagine one of us would have been smart enough to like grab it from you.
Oh, try and stop me, assholes.
Nah, I'll let it happen.
Yeah, Marjorie's too tired.
I've been given a treat.
It's like 2 or 3 a.m. I imagine we're all like exhausted, so we just like let that ride.
I imagine one of you guys is like, don't give her a hot dog.
He watches you as you crunch it between your teeth and swallow it, and he just nods and goes, very upsetting. Very upsetting.
It is not the first time we have seen it.
Yeah, that continues to be upsetting. All right. All you adventurer fucks, get out of my clinic. And of course, thank you for using the church's services. Blah, 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 blah. These people are in good hands now, yada, yada.
Just remember the last part of the notes. She like urges caution. Otherwise, you will share her fate.
Yeah. No magic on the magically diseased, covered in horns and nails, lady.
And don't let her do anything to you with magic.
It works both ways.
Oh, yeah, it's a good thing you told me. I was totally gonna let her cast a bunch of spells on me. Of course not!
Well, just so you know.
Where the hell did you guys find a medical gurney like this, too? It looks real nice. This is how Phasmos made?
Are you gonna like leave it with him?
Oh yeah, no, I tell him all about how I kind of just slapped it together from scrap I found. Going into all those details.
Yeah, you are Super Elf Phasmos. I completely believe this. You might be the only person here who is not an adventurer. It was so nice to meet you, sir.
Oh, please, the pleasure was all mine. You may keep the gurney. I do not believe I have further use of it. Unfortunately, did not make it collapsible.
A collapsible gurney. There's a thought. Hey, wait a minute. He reaches into one of the drawers and pulls out some papers. He has like a little notebook or something, and he writes something down on it and then rips off a little stub and hands it to you. Says, here, come tax season, you can write the gurney off as a donation to the church.
Ah, delightful. Thank you.
Marjorie looks around for a minute and Modest, it's time to go. And before he like gets out here, she'll like fish in her bag, and she kind of looks around at this place. It's pretty trashed, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of. It's not really in a good neighborhood. You can see people actually beginning to line up outside and try to come in.
She will straight up hand him $1,000. A donation.
Whoa. Really? For me? I guess you adventurers aren't all completely terrible and awful.
She kind of raises her brow. What wasn't her intended effect, but she says she just shrugs and smiles. Hopefully, to feed for everything. She kind of gestures. Perhaps we will be back sometime. Maybe.
Oh, I sincerely hope not.
Likewise.
Bye-bye. Try not to perish. Modest, you need to get better friends. You need to stop hanging out with adventurers. You think everyone is an adventurer. Everybody is adventurers. They always come to the clinic because it's cheap. Modest shrugs, start charging them. Never!
Daisy would like make sure to hold Modest's hand to make sure he's safe when he's walking.
And you can see him like waving goodbye when he sees it. He just like pauses and shakes his head. Just goes, very upsetting.
What's cough syrup do to Daisy? Like an entire bottle of it.
You're feeling pretty good. Usually I would have you roll a d4, but you're completely topped up on health.
I imagine we're out on the curb, if there even is a curb, and Marjorie's just like, I almost don't feel well. I am so tired.
Yeah, let's get back and sleep.
Of the people that are waiting in line to get into the clinic, you see a group of about 4 or 5 of them. One of them carrying somebody that is like filled with arrows. Get out of our way! We're adventurers! Someone got injured in a fight! We need the clinic! Come on, get out of the way, you guys! I have active spells on! And they bust in and act like assholes, and they get into a fight with the guy, and he kicks them out. Friggin' adventurers! Stupid adventurers, get out of here! Use your health potions! You lazy bums! But you guys head back to the Novikov estate. And would you look at that, just in time for breakfast. You come up on the Novikov estate, you're covered in grime and filth. You can see tons of workers putting on their little helmets and overalls and stuff, going to the sheet metal factory that's attached. And the butlers and servants take your coats and stuff, and they do it clasped in between like their thumbs and their forefingers, kind of like, this is unfortunate. Oh, that's oh, you look rather awful, Master Modest. Yes, I'm feeling pretty awful as well. I would like a bath and then I would like 2 baths and then a nap, please. Oh, going to skip your morning nap, sir? Go straight to the midday? Oh no, it is morning. Yes, right away, Master Modest. Come. And he gets led away. He's like, all right, guys, see you in a couple hours.
Imagine Marjorie prestidigitates her hand first, and then takes like if there's food laying around, she'll like grab a bagel or something, and just like she'd usually cut it daintily and fill it with cream cheese. Now she just like takes a bite of just the bagel. Yeah, today has been a day.
Or do you guys just shuffle into the dining room and start eating whatever's on the table?
Marjorie would have walked in for a bagel or something.
Is Demyon hovering like always?
First of all, yes he is. Secondly, you guys start eating at the table and picking up food, and both Timur and Valeria are at the table eating. And Valeria sees you guys walking in, and she like does a minor spit take with her tea, goes, oh, damn it! I was sure I had him this time.
I was hoping we'd run into you. I wanted to thank you for all the help. We could not have made it so quickly out of there if it wasn't for your assistance.
She gets the angry eyebrows, and her younger brother Timur is also there. You helped them? Sister, you imbecile, you buffoon! I had not dreamed that you would be so incompetent. Shut up, I don't see you coming up with any better plans. Oh, you'll know when it is my plan, when it is in action, but by the time you figure it out, it will be too late. He villain speeches at her in the background while you guys eat your bagels and stuff.
Because Daisy...
Go on.
Because Daisy doesn't need to eat, she would sit, try to catch Valeria's eye, and very creepily be playing with the wicker doll of Valeria right in front of her. And if Valeria looks over, Daisy will make eye contact and just grin.
while she's getting lambasted by her stupid little brother, she kind of does a double take at you and looks at you kind of confused, and then like slowly from under the table you bring up the voodoo doll, and she kind of like her eyes get a little bit wider, and then you start stabbing it with something. You start stabbing it with a fork, and she kind of like jumps a little bit and takes the napkin out of her shirt and just, I've had enough of this. I'm going to my room. Yes, flee, Valeria, flee in the face of your failure.
Aramis will cough once real quick and before she leaves say, I believe my friend Yaroplek here had something he wanted to say to you, and he'll pat Yaroplek on the back like really hard. That was your time, chum.
What? What do you mean? Don't touch me! Don't look at me! Your friend? Your filthy, disgusting, for some reason still alive friend? I believe he still has vomit on his shirt. You have something to ask me, wretch? What color is your underwear? I'm leaving. And Yaroplek takes off his hat and screams into it, muffled.
That's hilarious.
Yaro, my friend, that is not. I will show you the finer points of. Yes, it's okay, buddy. I will show you later how you should be approaching such topics.
I've never been so afraid in my life.
That I do not find surprising.
She is so scary, so strong, so dangerous, so sexy. I bet her under is green.
I lean out the door and call down the hall after. Is it green?
She gives you the finger and continues down the hallway.
I believe you might be right.
Marjorie just eats. She's got a like distant look in her eye, just kind of looks real thoughtful. She'll finish her bagel. She doesn't like rush too much, and she considers, I think I am done for today. I think we are all turning in for at least a few hours, no?
Certainly.
Yes.
Ah,
No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
good. I assume we are sleeping whether we want to or not. I will see you all a little after lunch, perhaps. And she very slowly, deliberately gets up from her seat at the table and just takes the same route Valoria did.
While you're leaving, you see Madame Black has gone to the buffet and filled a plate heaping with lobster. And she takes a seat next to young Timur, and he like looks at her with disgust, and she says, "Next time, young lad, when you are planning my demise," she takes her mace out and slams it on the table in front of him, and he jumps. "Do plan accordingly." And she makes constant eye contact with him while she slurps and eats all the lobster.
Excellent. The new mace.
Yes.
Nice.
With the spikes, it sticks into the table at an angle. And then you depart, Marjorie.
Oh yeah, I take the more or less same route that, and while I'm taking the same route, Marjorie just kind of whispers enough to the general vicinity so she knows he'll hear, "Marcus with me." And she'll just keep walking along because he knows to stay hidden.
You see his lips pop up from the floor underneath you. I was going to say I'm always with you, but it sounds kind of creepy. But I am always with you, but not in like a stalkery sense. I just want you to know this.
He gets a very slight nod as she'll follow after.
His lips go back under the carpet.
Right.
You're gonna try and follow Valeria?
Yeah.
Sure, roll a stealth check.
Even if I fail, that's kind of okay. That's fine. She's not being too subtle. She's not like ducking around corners and, combat rolling across like gaps in the hallway. Like she's kind of walking purposefully. Is anyone else around, or is it just like her like way ahead of me?
She's way ahead of you, and there's some servants here and there.
Right.
But you eventually round a corner to a hallway to the living quarters where you assume she is, and you find that the hallway is empty.
She kind of looks carefully. Can I do a perception maybe to see where she went?
You walk a little further down the hall, trying to figure out where she went. And you hear her voice fairly close by, though you do not see her. What is it, friend of Modest?
Just kind of moves slowly, deliberately. Where am I getting a read on where she is? Does she like disappear into the wall?
Make either a perception. Yeah, make a perception. You're pretty sure she's invisible, or she's communicating with you telepathically.
Oh, so I don't hear her. It's like in my head. Okay.
You're not 100% sure. There's a bit of magical mumbo jumbo and defenses going on in the Novikov estate, to the point where it's a little hard to tell.
Do I have a general direction, at least like from the magic vibes? Now that I picked up on those.
You think that she's probably behind you. Not directly next to you, but maybe 15, 20, 30 plus feet away.
Oh, wow. So she's actually talking pretty loud, probably.
Yeah, you weren't as stealthy as you could have been, and she knew that you were following her.
Yeah, just kind of smiles lightly, and she about faces. Afraid of little old me?
Fear has nothing to do with it. When you are in my position, you take all the precautions you can. And in complete fairness, if you manage to survive what I've put you through, I suppose I could count you as dangerous. Especially if you're actually friends with that idiot brother of mine.
I guess I take some thoughtful steps in what I assume is her direction. Nothing like too threatening, just kind of close the distance a little bit. See if I can see, like, I don't know how plush is this carpeted or is it like wood?
It's a plush carpet.
So can I see where the impressions of her feet are? with that 23.
With a 23, I would say that you can see that there are no impressions.
Oh, wow. What? Do I think she's sitting on one of the... Is there, like, surfaces in the hallway?
There's, like, tables and stuff, but what are you trying to do here?
I'm just trying to, like, close the distance, but that's fine. Like, it's just very impersonal as the way as it is, but that's fine. She's had the card up her sleeve the whole time because she hasn't been able to return it to the deck. And so that just falls into her hand now, and she's like, I just want to warn you about a repeat of the situation you created, and I would advise against doing it again. And I guess in her direction, she just kind of lets the card flutter to the floor, and it spirals down and lands image up of the hermit. And
you can hear her scoff. I assure you, I will be taking your presence into consideration from here on out.
The area gets very cold, Marcus, because he's in my vicinity. Because my idea was so she gets to feel that feeling, was to be close enough so she could feel it. Because I don't know how wide that bubble is.
How cold do you want him to make it?
How cold can he make it? Because while we're talking, I am using...
You can hear Marcus whisper nearby, Tor hates this lady. and it gets very cold. You can see your breath.
And while we're talking, I'm using words of terror on her. And so, she just lets the cards sit ominously on the ground. Like, as far as I'm concerned, you have opened a communication of a specific kind, one of which I have no problem returning. Do be careful. I will not miss next time. And I don't know what his cause. Wisdom saving throw.
There is a long pause, and then at the opposite end of the hallway, you see one of the vases shake ever so slightly, and you realize that she has left and fled.
I asked Marcus to see if he's able to touch the card. Can he move the card that I dropped on the ground?
Oh, here, you drops this. He hands you the card.
Oh, Marcus, thank you. Actually, could you please give it to our friend? Make sure she finds it on her pillow tonight. I wouldn't want her to forget her gift. And I hand it back to him.
Few do.
And I will just leisurely walk back down the hallway to my room.
You do so. And so you guys have breakfast, threaten a few people here and there.
Oh yes, that was a promise.
Yeah, you can tell that Valeria is very concerned about you guys now.
And we go to bed.
Marjorie takes a magnificent bath. The best bath she has ever taken.
You notice that you are filthier than you've ever been. You got a scrub.
Oh yeah. This is a foreign concept. Well, she's been riding before, so she's had dirt under her nails, but she's always able to like get it off right away. So yeah, this is like caked on. She's like, oh.
You're well seasoned.
Yeah, she gets all cleaned up.
Marinated.
Oh, gross.
The filth and grime is sunk in.
You. But yes, then I imagine we all get some good sleeps.
Yeah. Is there anything specific that anybody wanted to do? Because otherwise, I feel like this is a good place to end for now and let you guys do some downtime activities.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
How long? What, like a day? Like we wake up sometime around lunch and then spend maybe the rest of the day and then that night and then pick up on our investigation the next day?
However long you guys want to have a little bit of downtime where you work on personal projects or whatever.
Okay.
And then, yeah. Because you notice that Kira isn't around.
Oh, okay. I'm assuming she's busy with stuff.
Perhaps so.
Do you want us to decide now or workshop it now?
No, I was just asking if anybody had any things specific they wanted to do, like right now in the game.
Oh,
No.
I have some ideas for downtime.
Yeah, I guess this would be a downtime activity, but while you're here, I might as well ask you about it. You had said when I got those chairs or the chair legs from our stakeout house, that I could use them to make a +1, use each of them to make a +1 wand.
Mm-hmm.
I am wondering if the core wand is destroyed, you can create a new one over the course of 8 hours of work. I'm just wondering if I could essentially just transfer my core wand over to new +1 housing, essentially.
Yes.
Cool. Then that is what Ollie spends his time doing today.
Okay, yeah, sure. Easy money.
Heinrich is going to spend the entirety of this time working on that flying machine.
Oh yeah, you'll have no problem finishing it now. You've got everything you need.
Yes.
I don't think I started on the book. I've only started on the orb, I think. Wait, no, I think I started on the book.
You did, because I had a little bit of progress on
Yeah,
it
'cause
too.
Did I write it down? I had to have written it down somewhere.
I got
Oh,
1%.
5%. Yeah, I got 5%. So I got further. Oh no, I'm about the same on the orb.
I would join you for that, but you know, more important things.
Yeah, I had some ideas
No,
for.
Bye, Rain.
They need the sleeps.
It is like 4 a.m.
Oh yeah, for them. And they got class soon. But I was thinking that I would spend some time on the book that I have that Heinrich was helping me with. The cold blows the wind, and then the other half. So this would be part of today. So after lunch, Marjorie would ask, probably specifically Modest, but if other people wanted to go, she wants to go for a ride. She misses Araceli and wants to go on a little cross-country ride, which is through the city, but like a tour, become more familiar with the city on horseback.
Oh, it sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Heinrich is very preoccupied.
Oh, yeah.
He will be lucky to eat if someone doesn't like bring food to him.
Oh yeah, she kind of doesn't expect anyone but Modest to come. It's kind of like her excuse to hang out with him. Be like, oh, show me around. And Araceli needs to get out, so let's go.
Modeste would leave a Modeste-shaped hole in the wall in order to go for a horseback ride with you.
Most excellent. But then the rest of her time is spent on the book. Is there something you want me to roll specifically for that?
Oh, sure, if you want to do it now.
Might as well, because I'm going to forget over the week. So what did I roll before? I don't
An
recall.
investigation or a perception.
I'll do perception since that's her strength. All right. I'll take it.
And this is Cold Blows the Wind, right?
Yes.
Give me a sec.
This is for, I assume, both the completion of the book and learning Old Common. I don't know if I'm going to need a separate book to finish learning or not.
You'll have working.
I can help you with that.
Okay.
Mark yourself down.
Once I'm done with this mission.
Mark yourself down as 12% complete.
Oh, total now?
Yes. You feel like you will have working knowledge of Old Common after finishing this book, especially with Heinrich's help.
Okay. Sounds good. I think those are my two big things. Because she did tell Marcus she wanted to become more familiar with this place, and Modest is the perfect and eager tour guide, and he's fun. So we go out on a fun afternoon.
Yeah, and if you guys want to think over the next week of what your characters would do if having like a couple days of time off,
Oh, that's
come
true.
at me. Come at me, bro.
Yeah, because we could take more than just the day. We don't have to just
I've
use
got
the rest of the today.
4-day project that needs to get worked on too, so whatever is not... So I guess after the first day of upgrading his own wand, any extra days he'd use on that.
Oh yeah, so if you wanted to, we could have a 4-day downtime thing.
Aramis
Sure.
would probably feel like he doesn't want the trail he's after to go cold, so he would kind of be maybe like a little grumpy about not following the the nightclub lead that he has, so he might do some investigation into this on his own time.
Oh yeah, you can follow leads if you want to.
And then he would probably also take his sword and the silverware he has to have it melted down and get his sword silvered.
You can absolutely do that. In fact, you can talk to Modest, and he can have the machine shop just do it for you.
He doesn't trust Modest.
Oh, okay.
He might fuck his sword up his
Oh yeah,
bench.
the mom thing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Maybe don't do that.
You could always ask her.
I could ask her.
That is true. Yeah, you can do that if you want to.
Yeah, that's the route he'd probably go.
What are you willing to do in order to get this sword?
Well, he's a very generous man.
Go for round 2.
And a very generous lover.
Oh my. Yeah, all right, fair enough. Oh yeah, you're getting the silvery sword.
That's I'm not sure if that's a euphemism or literal or both.
Yeah.
Put in all the stuff.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
But I guess
right.
now would be a good place. This would be a good place to probably end for tonight for the streaming. So I guess we will
Oh, yeah.
see. Yeah, no one wants to see like all the like technical stuff. Like we're just gonna be talking shop pretty much from here on out. So thanks for coming.
Thanks for tuning in,
Yeah,
everyone.
and we'll see you all next week.
I love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.